question again. This is an ordinary level 1 from 2005. The figure shows the design of an egg cup based on a semi-ellipse as shown, so a half ellipse, right? So you can see your half ellipse here, right? So that will be your minor axis, and that will there be half your major. The major axis of the ellipse is 120, right? So from there to the center to the far end of the ellipse will be 120, so that there is obviously 60, and it says that here as well for us. Okay. Also, it says that the minor axis is 70. Okay. The minor axis there is 70, so it gives us what we need to draw the ellipse here, as well as giving us the two measurements there. So our two radiuses, one will be radius 60 for the bottom half here, and the other will be radius 35. Draw the given design showing clearly all construction lines. Now, again, you're drawing your ellipse question, draw the ellipse part first. Okay? That's the whole point of the question is the ellipse, that's where the marks will be. So, draw the ellipse part of the question there. I'm going to draw a light vertical line down the middle of my sheet to start with. Now lads, you're not doing it yet, so just put down, Mr. O'Brien, put down the board. Right? So I'm in 200, in halfway. I'm drawing a vertical line down the sheet. Right? Now, that's going to be the center of my ellipse. Right? So, for this center point here, let's say if we come down, we'll come down 70 when you're doing it in a minute, right? We'll come down 70 for this point here, which is the center of my ellipse. Okay? Now, I'm going to draw my minor axis out through it slightly. Right, so again, what I've done here is, right, looking at the sheet here, come in halfway to 200, I've drawn a vertical line down through there, right? Then, I marked a point there, which is going to be the center for my radius. Now, we already calculated from the question that the radius for the minor circle is 35 and the radius for the major circle is 60. So, out from this point, I'm going to mark 35 and I'm going to mark 60. I'm going to draw in them two radiuses there. Alright, so I'm going to draw that one there. I'm going to draw that one there. Right? Now, straight away, how many points do I have on the ellipse? Right? I have 3. I have the end of the minor axis left and right, which is there and there, and the bottom of the major, which is down 60, which is there. Now, you set up the normal 30, 60 degree lines. 60 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree that way, 30 degree that way. Now then, again, it's a vertical ellipse, right? So when it's a vertical ellipse, you come vertical from the minor circle. So in other words, I'm going to come vertically down here and in, vertically down here and in. Because if that's a point there on the ellipse and that's a point, if I was to come up vertically and come out, well then that looks totally. It's vertical from the major for a horizontal circle and it's vertical from the minor for a vertical ellipse. Not circle. So down there lightly, down there, and when I'm bringing this line down, I make sure to come below that point because I know I'll be coming in from there. Same on this side, down there, down there. Then we come in horizontally, come in there, come in there, and there, come in there. Now lightly, I'm going to mark my points. So I have there. I'm going to mark them heavy so you can see them. When you're doing this, you will mark them lightly. Right? Now that basically gives me the half of the ellipse that I need. Okay? So I'm going to freehand in them points then now. Again, always bringing the point of the pencil towards your wrist. Right? And if that means then that you can swivel around the board a bit, that's okay. Right? So you and then you can heavy it in then. Never start a heavy line from the point down the back there. Look up. Never start the heavy line from the point, you start it between the points. Bring it to, and you can start to rotate it back up around then. To there, and then we'll go back to the other half. Right, so that then is this part of it. Now we'll continue on with the bottom part first. Right? Now, what is the width of this here? 10, right? So I'll just bring a light little horizontal line out here. And what am I going to mark out either side of the centre at? 5, good. So I get my set square. I mark 5 left on that little right light line I drew and 5 right. And I'll bring them down lightly. I'll bring them down a good bit because they're light construction lines, so it doesn't matter. Right? Now, then, how far down is it from there, say, to this point here? 70. We have our 30, and then we have a radius 40, so that's 70. So from the bottom of the ellipse, we want to measure down 70, and that would be the top of the base. Now what width is the base left to right? Remember, we have a radius 40, 90, because we have the radius 40, and then the 10 in between. So how far either side? 45, very good. Now what is the height of it? 15. Right, so I can heavy that there then. Now, so what we need to do then is get our 2 quadrants, right? And again, it's a quadrant of a circle because it's a quarter, right? Now, come straight up from the edge. How high up? 40. Come straight up from this edge. 40. You could come down 30 or up 40, but we have a point, so we come up 40 from here. Right? We'll mark that. And I'm just going to bring that line across slightly and come up here. Right? So that gives me the center here for the quadrant, and it gives me the center there for the quadrant. Okay? Sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't straight there. Now, then the reason why I drew that line up and I drew that line across is it gives me the actual points, right? So look, I know now that from there up is heavy to the ellipse, and from there up is heavy to the ellipse. And then from there it swings down. Like that. And we go to this side. And swing it in there. Right? Now, that's the base, the 2 quadrants, right? The channel of it, the semi-ellipse. Now, when we look at the top of it again, okay? So, I'm going to look at the top of it up here. I have this line, don't I? What was that relative to my ellipse? Yeah, but in terms of here, that was the minor axis of 70, right? Now, how high up is it to, say, this line here that contains the very top? 20. So I measure up 20 here. Switch back to my lighter pencil. Measure up my 20, and I'll draw a line out either side lightly, right? Then I can bring up my left hand point and I can bring up my right hand point. Now, again, we've 70 and it's divided up into 6 equal spaces. So obviously 70 divided by 6 then would be 12.6666, is it? Well, what method are you going to do? Exactly, dividing the line into an equal number of spaces, right? So this is the start of it there, that's the end of it. So I'll go off again, you know the routine, at any angle you want, off lightly. Then because it's 6, we want to divide it up into, we measure out 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, there'll be sliding set squares here now to keep them parallel. So what you do is then you join your 6th point to the end of the line. Then you slide in, right? That's your 5th point. That's your 4th. The 3rd should obviously land where? in the center, exactly. The second and the first. So that then gives me the outside point, this one here, this one here, and that outside one. Now, what do we notice about the distance we come down for the bottom of them? It's the same. So how will I get the distance to drop down here? Use my compass. Very good. Get this distance here, and a mark down there. Quiet now, that's it. Now join that over like that. Now, which ones of these do I need to bring down? I need to bring down the first one in from the left. I have the middle already, and the first one in from the right. So the first one in from the left is brought down there, and the first one in from the right is brought down there. So straight away then, you have your points to join the lines. So you join there to there, up to there, down to there, up to there, down to there, and up to there. Right, and then you can just heavy in the left hand side and heavy in the right hand side. Right? And that concludes that one then. Right? Now just a quick recap before you started. Okay? With the ellipse question, particularly at order level, right? We start with the ellipse itself. Right? Now you're always given enough either in the question itself or in the drawing to draw it. Okay? So you're given the major and the minor. Here we can see that the minor is 70 and half the major is 60. Like if we were to draw that full ellipse up there, obviously to be 120 altogether, right? As it gives it to us here that the full major is 120. So then we know half at 60. Okay? Then when we drew this, we said we come down the way. As pointed out, the width of the channel coming down here is 10. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. What does that signify? Center. So if it's 10 wide, that's the center. It's 5 left and right. So I drew a light little horizontal line there, and I measured from the center, 5 to the left, 5 to the right, and I brought the two of them down there, nice and light. You can keep them real light now, nice construction lines, okay? Then we said, right, how far there to say the top of the base? We said it's 30 plus your 40 here, okay? So that's 30 plus 40, which is 70, and then it's 15 there. So I came down there to there, is 70 for the top of the base, and another 15 for the bottom. The width of the base, right, it's not 70, don't make that mistake. It's 40 for your radius, plus the 10 for the channel, plus another 40, which is 90. So when it's 90, we came 45 out to the left, 45 out to the right. Then we knew that the center of the quadrant was straight up from the left hand side, pencils down. Center was straight up there from the right hand side, up 40 on the left, up 40 on the right. Okay? And then we could draw in the arcs there and draw in the arcs. Now, the whole significance of bringing that line lightly across was, when I bring up my curve, I know exactly where to stop. Right? Same with this one, when you bring it up, you know exactly where to stop. Finally then, to do the top, we knew that the top part here was 20 mil above the top line we had at the minor axis. So I came up 20, drew my light line across. Then we said, right, it's divided up into 6. And again, lads, this came up in the previous one there where we had doing the fish and we had to divide 140 into 8 equal spaces. The same method. Since first year, you know how to divide a line into an equal number of parts. Come off at any angle. So we marked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we brought 6 down to the last one here, which was 6. 5 down to there, 4 to there, 3 to there, 2 to there, and 1 to there. And that gave us the points we needed then along the top. Then to get the distance down that they were going to be joined to, we knew that this equals meant it was the same as them 6. So we just got our compass from there out to 5, right, like it is there, and we marked it down. Okay? And then we could draw that light line across and we could fill in our design. So that there is, now it's actually from 2006, that one. Alright? So, there we go. Ellipse questions during the search, order level. And if you want, you can stick in there that is 2006, okay? Off you go, please.